Hello, this is Mick Foley, and you are listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
Hey, this is the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, and you are listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
This is Rob Van Dam. You're listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
Aw, yeah. Welcome to Wrestling Uncensored. I am Dave Simon, Johnny North right here with me, here with you every Saturday night on TSN 690 talking professional wrestling. Check us out online at WrestlingUncensored.net. Check out our official YouTube channel. All the shows are there. Ringside Report Radio, the MMA show. What's Fandom in Japan, the New Japan Pro Wrestling podcast. This show, Wrestling Uncensored. Dave and Johnny Live, the live video show that Johnny and I do every Friday around 12:30. Every Friday afternoon, we go live. We answer your questions. We talk wrestling. We talk 90 Day Fiancé. We talk about Johnny North being mistaken for a homeless man. We talk about all sorts of things on Dave and Johnny Live. And you can check out everything on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ringsidereport.net, youtube.com/ringsidereport, DOTNET. Go check it out right now. So much stuff over at youtube.com/ringsidereport.net.
Lots of fun.
It is lots of fun, Big Johnny. It is lots of fun. And people get to see you. They get to see me. And we talk about, a lot of different things. And this week, we even dabbled into the WWE. So you get a little bit of extra Wrestling Uncensored on Dave and Johnny Live. And we talked about the WWE because it's been a hot topic this week. Was this the worst Raw ever? People are calling Monday's Raw the worst Raw in the history of all Raws. And we're talking about, 25 years of Raw?
Plus now. Yeah.
It's a bold statement. It was definitely a bad show. I don't think there's any debate on that. I think the WWE got the message, given the outcry of how bad the show was. Everybody, really, it was surprising to me that people were so upset about Raw this week. Like, this was the low point. When I feel like, this was not a good episode of Raw, but there have been a lot of episodes of Raw that have been equally bad. And I'm surprised at the consensus from the wrestling world that this was it. This was the last straw. This was the worst Raw ever. I'm a little bit surprised that people are choosing this to say, hey, this is terrible. This was the worst ever. When, it was bad, but what was it that much worse than even last week?
I feel like top to bottom, overall, this could have been one of the worst Raws of all time. Just because in the past, at least you had a few good moments. You had Kevin Owens back then. You even had Roman Reigns back then. Now you don't even have Braun Strowman added to those guys. Yeah. You have even less than before. And honestly, it just felt it was like one bad segment after the other. It's hard to looking back on this show to find good moments. There were some, but they're very hard to find. And I can understand how people could say this is the worst Raw ever.
It was hard to find good points to this Raw. You talk about the talent. The talent definitely plays a big factor here. The talent on SmackDown, far superior to the talent on Raw. They're so talent-rich on SmackDown. I mean, Monday Night Raw is headlined by Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler. Those are your top guys. Your top guys on SmackDown, AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, Shinsuke Nakamura, Samoa Joe, Jeff Hardy, Rey Mysterio. Hell, even Randy Orton. I'll take Randy Orton over pretty much every top guy on Raw. Like if Randy Orton was a top guy on Raw, I'd be good with that. I'd be better with that than I am with, Drew McIntyre or Baron Corbin. And that's saying something because we are, what is this, 416th episode of Wrestling Uncensored? Over the years, over the 416 shows, I've been pretty outspoken about my dislike of Randy Orton. I'm not a big fan of Randy's, right?
Oh, I know.
I think the whole Wrestling Uncensored universe knows. But I would take him over any guy on Raw right now. That's saying something.
Says a lot. But I feel Raw wouldn't have been that bad.
And you would too.
Well, I would have taken him anyways, regardless.
Yeah, you're a big Randy fan.
It's been said many times in the past, you build a company with a guy like Randy Orton. You build a wrestling company with a guy like Randy Orton. He's the prototypical wrestler.
Sure. I'd say more Brock Lesnar, but whatever.
You get people hurt too much if Brock Lesnar's your...
Yeah, but Brock can really go. Brock looks the part. Brock looks dangerous. He looks scary.
He is dangerous. He's sloppy.
Well,
He's careless.
He doesn't hurt everybody. Daniel Bryan walked away unscathed. Daniel Bryan had a really rough match with Brock Lesnar, and as far as we know, everything's good. He doesn't have to give up the WWE title. I think he's wrestled since. At least a dark match, right?
At least, but very few times. He was bleeding after a German suplex. Like, come on. Like, Brock just doesn't care.
But wasn't that on his arm? Like, wasn't that kind of the way he landed?
Because he was trying to protect himself from not dying.
And he did. So he's a good wrestler. It's fine. Don't worry about it. The Singh brothers took some rough falls. They're all right. They're not dead.
I think for the safety of others, Randy Orton's the guy you want to build a company around.
Come on. For the amusement of the fans, you want a Brock Lesnar type. You don't want a Randy Orton type. Nevertheless, Brock Lesnar's not on Raw. He's kind of the centerpiece of Raw, but he's not there. He's the Universal Champion. He's never on the show.
Now it's the Baron Corbin show.
Yeah.
And that's the
it's
problem.
A lot of Baron Corbin. It's too much Baron Corbin. And I hope so much that Braun Strowman does wrestle Baron Corbin at TLC. We're 2 weeks away. 2 more episodes of Raw and SmackDown before this show. Right? Is that it?
Yeah.
And the stipulation is if Braun Strowman wins, Baron Corbin is no longer the general manager of Raw.
So he shouldn't be the GM-elect. Like, that's his new title now?
Are they saying elect?
Yeah.
Wouldn't elect mean you were voted in?
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense. I thought he was interim GM.
They just like to use these terms because they're in terms. And
whatever happened to Constable Corbin? Remember when he was a constable?
Then he was acting GM.
Yeah.
Now he's GM-elect.
Well, I hope he goes away. I hope we don't have to see all these Baron Corbin promos anymore because they're very boring.
I don't know if the promos will go away, but I think he might lose the GM spot.
He's not believable either. He loses so much. He's just this big, dumb oaf who sucks at wrestling. His matches aren't that good, and he loses most of them. He's not believable as the tough guy. Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley are built way stronger than Baron Corbin. If it's a 6-man tag and Corbin and Lashley and Drew are losing, you can bet Corbin's the one taking the fall. It's not Drew or Bobby. Drew is protected the most, and then Bobby, and then Corbin. Even though Corbin's kind of the front man of the group right now, he's third on the pecking order as far as building wins and losses and stuff like that.
Yeah, in terms of like his ranking in terms of wrestler, it's very low. But in terms of him carrying the story, telling the story, he's one of the highest right now going in all of WWE.
What do you mean?
Like, he's the one getting the story across for this Strowman match because Strowman's gone. So he's pretty much going to have to carry it by doing what he does, which is run Raw and destroy everyone in his path before he gets to Braun Strowman. That's why he destroyed Elias and then Finn Balor. There's no one to oppose him.
Right, so his group is kind of taking people out, and we're supposed to believe that these 3 men will be able to take out Braun Strowman together at TLC. It's supposed to be Baron Corbin one-on-one, but as we keep seeing, Corbin makes one-on-one matches, 2-on-1 matches like he did in the main event of Raw. It was Corbin versus Finn, which was not good. And then Corbin at some point decides to make it a 2-on-1, and Drew McIntyre shows up, and Finn looks scared. Finn looks intimidated, which I don't like. I would rather Finn say, good, let's go, let me fight both of you, I hate you all. I can't wait to get my hands on you. Like, I always go back to what would Stone Cold do? And Stone Cold would say, hell yeah, bring it on, I'm going to stun the hell out of everybody. But now, Finn Balor, he's put in this spot where another guy shows up and he's like, oh no, another guy. I'm going to get beat up now. Stone Cold would have been like, hell yeah, son, bring it on.
Well, he's not Demon Finn Balor. Demon Finn Balor's like that, but regular Finn Balor?
Regular Finn Balor is just scared. Nobody likes him.
Well, I think a lot of people like him. He's one of the most over guys on Raw. But...
Well, nobody helps him. I mean, he's got no babyface alliances. Seth Rollins doesn't come to make the save. Nobody makes a save for poor old Finn. Elias doesn't come make the save, You would think that some of these baby faces would band together against this group, but, Braun Strowman's not there, so he's not going to come out and make the save, right?
No, because Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre, they were arguing one week, and now they're together this week. Where the good guys, they can't figure it out well enough to do that. Makes perfect sense.
Does it?
No, but this is the Raw we got.
And Dolph Ziggler wrestles Seth Rollins for the millionth time. Seth beats Dolph again. And, it's still unclear. Is Seth with those guys? Is Seth and Drew still a thing? Because Drew seems to be hanging out with Lashley and Corbin more than anything.
I think it'll just be a thing if it needs to be, but at this point, I think they just want to put Seth and Dean by themselves. It's kind of their own little feud.
So Ziggler's just kind of by himself doing nothing. He's lost in the mix.
Well,
that's it for Ziggler.
They just needed somebody for Rollins to wrestle. That's it. I could see easily Ziggler and McIntyre together when they need that to happen. But if they don't need it to happen, why do it? I think they were just there out of convenience because they didn't have anything for them at the time. And now it's pretty much done, so they just go their own ways.
Cool. It's just not... It's TV that goes nowhere. It's not compelling television. Who cares what happens on Raw Monday night? Who cares? None of these Raw storylines are really that good. The only match on Raw at TLC that I'm interested in is Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey.
Well, not the promo, but...
Well, the promo was very bad. Nia's promo making fun of Ronda there was just weird. It's not good. Ronda shows up, wasn't much better. Said, Nia, you earned your shot by winning the Battle Royal at Evolution, but I want to fight you right now. And then Nia's like, nah, I don't want to fight now. And then Natty comes to back up Ronda for some reason, and then the Riot Squad beats up on Natty on her way down to the ring. Then the Riot Squad kind of leave, and Natty and Ronda are just kind of there. And Tamina and Nia are just kind of staring at them. And that was it. That's how the segment ended. Maybe Ronda and Natty team up on Raw this week or next to take on a couple Riot Squatters. I don't know. It's good that Natty and Ronda are a thing again, I guess. We were questioning that. When Natty was getting beat up by the Riot Squad, you're like, well, why doesn't Ronda Rousey come out and save her? I thought they were best friends. Ronda could easily take these people out and help Natty, no? But that didn't happen. Now, Natty's showing up to back up Ronda, and it costs her because the Riot Squad attacks her out of nowhere. Which is why were the Riot Squad there? Did they know Natty was going to show up? What? Didn't make a lot of sense.
Well, I think they wanted to do this angle with the Riot Squad where they broke Jim Neidhart's glasses, and they needed to get her away from Ronda. But now that's done. They did that. So now they can put Natty back with Ronda, I guess.
Yeah. A little consistency would be good, but, they're not giving us that. And, so Natty, I guess, is back being friends with Ronda on TV.
For now, until they break up. I feel that they wanted to turn Natty heel. It felt like you saw that. It was building towards that. But because her dad passed away, they didn't want to turn her heel. So now I think they're back on track for that.
Could this be just a big, messy way to take the title away from Ronda at TLC?
Should we lose to Nia?
Well, hear me out. Natty is now involved in some way. So Tamina is in Nia's corner. Maybe Natty is there to be in Ronda's corner, right?
Uh-huh.
During the match, the Riot Squad shows up because they have a deal with Natty. All hell breaks loose. The referee's distracted. Tamina hits Ronda with a gimmick. 1, 2, 3. Nia took the title away from Ronda. She broke Becky Lynch's face. They're cheating to win. She's the biggest heel in the company.
She's already the biggest heel.
Takes the title. It just gives her more heat. Because, not much gave Nia heat like winning things after breaking Becky's face. What did she won the Survivor Series, right?
Right.
And the heat she got for winning that Survivor Series was not necessarily directed at her, but directed at the WWE. They were sending those boos to gorilla position. They were saying, how dare you, WWE, promote this Nia Jax, who injured our favorite wrestler and your best talent right now, the hottest talent in the business, Becky Lynch. How dare you reward her by being the sole survivor on her team at Survivor Series and winning the match? How dare you continue to reward her by giving her the WWE Women's Raw title and taking it away from Ronda Rousey in this underhanded way? How dare you, WWE, continue to reward this unsafe Nia Jax that we hate so much? You give her the title, it adds more heat to Nia Jax, way more heat. And that heat is for the WWE, it's for Nia Jax, I don't see them pumping the brakes on this Nia Jax push. Nia Jax is going by the face breaker. They're talking about it like it was an angle built to help her get over even more, when in fact it was an error that caused an injury to another wrestler. So they're going with it. So why wouldn't we think that they would go with it all the way? Because think about this. Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair have something going on.
Yeah.
Becky Lynch and Nia Jax have something going on too. And those two matches as WrestleMania main events are massive. Those are big. Nia Jax, Becky Lynch, when those two get their hands on each other, come on. You can't tell me you don't want to see that. That's a big match now. You go by the face breaker, you win the Raw Women's title, whatever. That's big.
But you can still go that route without... You're saying Becky wins the Rumble, faces Nia on Raw.
Sure.
You could have Nia win the Rumble, faces Becky on SmackDown. It could work that way too.
But why... that's more of a heel doing a brave move by challenging Becky. That's less... I don't know. It doesn't make as much sense. You would think the babyface would want to win the Rumble and then get revenge, Why would Nia want to face Becky? She already broke her face. She made her point.
She didn't get the title yet, though.
Well, not Becky's title, but she could be, I could see her taking the Raw Women's title from Ronda Rousey, though. I think that's the fundamental point I'm making here at TLC, is that I could see this being a big old mess with Nia Jax walking away champion. And I know no one's really expecting Nia to win because people think Ronda's going to be champion forever and she's unbeatable, but they could do some sort of screwy finish here with the Riot Squad and a lot of different elements that could cause Ronda to lose that title. And I could see WWE doing it, and I'm not even sure it's a bad move right now. Like, look, they're going to go with Nia Jax. Go with Nia Jax.
Well, if Nia's ever going to win, now would be the time. She has Tamina in her corner. And like you said, maybe Natty's possibly going to turn on Ronda. It feels like it's just an eventuality. So it's not impossible. It's just I feel Ronda still, for her to lose at TLC, doesn't seem like it's the right time.
Yeah, but they're going so hard on Nia Jax right now. Nia Jax has never had more heat. She's never been hotter. There's never been more focus on Nia Jax. Whether it's, negative attention for what she did to Becky or not, people are paying attention to what she's doing and people are feeling something towards Nia Jax. And you talk about that Natty Ronda thing. I don't think that's ever going to happen, by the way. I don't think Natty ever turns on Ronda. I don't think, maybe it'll happen in a year or two, but I don't think that's something we're going to see before WrestleMania because I don't think that they're going to really give Natty that type of meaty program with Ronda. I don't think they're going to give her that much. WWE doesn't give Natty that much.
It would be good for Ronda just to have that experience, I think, to wrestle her.
Sure, but I just don't see it happening. As for Nia, there's never been more focus on her as a performer, and there is money in Nia Jax right now. Because of what happened with Becky Lynch, and because of the way they're positioning it, they're going with Nia, and she is, I'd say, the top heel in the company, right? Is there anybody that is more hated by the audience right now than Nia Jax? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. But there's still ways around this without giving the title to Nia. You could have Becky interfere in the match. They're on the same show. They're in the same building.
Becky's got her own match to worry about.
Yeah, but, Nia did break her face. Time to get some payback. Why not do it there? And cost her the title. Leads up into the Rumble.
Well, because Becky's the champion, and she's got to be 100% for her match with Asuka and Charlotte Flair. It's a TLC. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. I don't think she interferes. I don't think so.
Someone breaks your face, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You're going to get revenge.
Maybe. You got to be smart, though. She's a champion.
There's just ways of protecting everybody involved without someone taking a loss. Much why we see Becky, Charlotte, and Asuka in a TLC, no one has to take a pin. No one has to be submitted.
You would think.
Well, I imagine it's going to be a classic-style TLC.
I would hope.
Title match. Why would you change it?
I don't know. WWE does wonky things sometimes with their stipulations.
It's going to be just grab the title, that's it.
I would hope so. But, last year the TLC match was pinfall.
But there was no title.
Right. So this match we're hoping will be like a ladder match style with the title suspended above the ring, and then you have to climb a ladder to get it. And that match is the match at TLC.
Should be.
Women's wrestling has taken over. Officially, in November 2018, December 2018, women's wrestling has taken over. I am officially more excited for Asuka, Becky, Charlotte, TLC than I am for AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. So congratulations, WWE. You have done it. Women's Evolution complete. We're at a point now where it's like, yeah, AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, that's cool and all, but I cannot wait to see Asuka, Becky, and Charlotte. That's incredible. Triple threat, TLC, my goodness.
Well, we've also seen Daniel Bryan, AJ multiple times already, and
Sure.
It's just a singles match again.
Yeah.
Make that into a ladder match, and I think you're saying a different story.
Maybe not, though. I don't know.
AJ Styles in a ladder match? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it would be sick. I would love to see that. I'm kind of disappointed we're not seeing that. But hey, man, the fact that we got Becky and Charlotte, and then they threw Asuka in the mix, fantastic. SmackDown was great this week, and Asuka winning that women's battle royal at the end to earn the spot in the match, that was just a cherry on a sundae, Good show, and then at the end, Asuka wins. And then you're like, whoa, this means Asuka, Becky, Charlotte, triple threat, TLC? Great ending to SmackDown. and great match that they're going to have now at TLC. I can't wait.
But if you looked at who was in that Battle Royal, like, it was kind of obvious it was going to be Asuka.
No, they could have easily given it to anyone in that Battle Royal. I mean, it was probably not going to be one of the Iconics, but I could have seen it being Lana.
What?
Naomi.
Okay, maybe Naomi. That's
Carmella. Yeah, okay. Could have been. Carmella's the queen of the ladder match. She won the first Money in the Bank. Okay?
It's a stretch, but okay.
Okay. Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose. I could have seen them giving it to Mandy Rose because, you know, they want to push her.
They were in the final three. When it came down to them and Asuka, I'm like, there's no way they're winning. Come on. Like, they're not going to be in the main event of TLC. Like, she's the only one who can bring that match up to a main event status.
I don't know. I was not sure that Asuka was going to win. I was not sure. Because, you know, Ronda and Nia could maybe be the women's main event, and I could see them putting, you know, Lana or Mandy in there to kind of learn and get the experience, but really, you know, Becky and Charlotte would be the ones to carry the load of the match. They could have gone that way, but they're not. They're giving us a killer match with Asuka, who's a great performer, who's been underused recently and is now getting a chance to shine, finally putting her back on the level of a Becky and a Charlotte. I wouldn't mind seeing her win the title.
Well, I think she's getting a great opportunity. It's nice to see her back on pay-per-view wrestling in a match that's important. But for her win the championship, I just feel like this is just another Charlotte Flair win and a way to get the title off of Becky.
You think Charlotte's going to win the title here?
Well, you've kind of set it up right. We need to have Ronda, Becky, Charlotte, and Nia in WrestleMania main events. So you need certain people to have championships.
Okay.
So in order for things to happen, things to fall into place, Charlotte or Becky need to be champion, not Asuka.
I guess, you know. And those four you're talking about, Nia, Ronda, Charlotte, Becky, you think those are your women's WrestleMania main events, right? And I would agree with that. I'd say Charlotte, Ronda,
yeah,
Becky, Nia.
It's the way to go.
I'd go there. Even though, you know, Becky and Ronda is still big money, you can maybe wait past WrestleMania to do that.
Right.
Because I don't see, you know, we have TLC here in December, then we got the Rumble in January. There's no need to do those matches at Elimination Chamber or whatever in February. Fastlane or what's it called?
It's just Elimination Chamber now.
Is it?
Yeah.
And then WrestleMania, you know? There's no reason to do those matches anytime before then. So I guess Nia, Becky, Ronda, Charlotte. Who holds the titles?
Well, again, we're kind of early, right? Because it's December. You have to get through the Rumble, title defense. Elimination Chamber, you might have to get through. That might be tough. So, I mean, it's not impossible that Asuka could win, but I feel that those four, Nia, Ronda, Charlotte, and Becky, that's your women's SmackDown Raw main events. So it's going to fall into the place for them eventually.
Yeah. The tricky part about that is those are two inter-brand matches.
Right.
So it's harder to figure.
A trade would be great.
Yeah. Oh, look, we talked about it. You know, the Raw and SmackDown brands, there's a real discrepancy of talent there. SmackDown is just so overloaded. A draft, a superstar shakeup, whatever you want to call it, would be really good right about now, right?
I'd be fine with just some NXT call-ups. I feel that's what Raw needs. I don't think you really need to change SmackDown that much, just except for the women because of the feud. But you have the Rumble. I think that could solve a lot of things. And possibly with Elimination Chamber, I could see some shenanigans going with that.
What do you mean?
Someone gets involved in a chamber match, someone gets hurt or whatever, and they decide to be replaced. But they can do a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah. I would say, though, that after WrestleMania, you probably don't want to do it now because you're kind of building up towards the Rumble and then into WrestleMania, so your storylines are all becoming set for the big show and you don't want to change too much. But after WrestleMania, judging Raw right now, you need to do a draft, right? You need to shake things up because it just doesn't make sense to have so much talent on SmackDown, which is a 2-hour show, and then so little talent on the 3-hour show, Monday Night Raw. You need one after WrestleMania, and hopefully they do it. I would assume that they would. But then we're waiting till, April for Raw to get better, April or May.
Yeah, Raw kind of needs to get better sooner than later because it's really rough. I get it. It's over 1,000 episodes, but I'm sorry. If Raw's going to be this bad every week, maybe they need to get rid of Raw. I'm serious.
Well, that's never going to happen.
No, it's not, but, maybe at least get rid of that 3rd hour. Do something.
3 hours is a lot. They could make it go faster by just making it a better show.
Well, they're going to feel it. The ratings are going to be absolutely atrocious. This could be the worst rating Raw ever gets this week because of how bad it was this past week.
Yeah.
So they got to brace for that. I'm sure they're laughing. They love to laugh when everything's terrible on TV backstage, but when they see how low that number is going to be in the ratings, I'm sure they're not going to be laughing because that affects their bank account.
I'll tell you, I don't usually watch Raw live Monday night because, it just takes too long with commercials. And earlier tonight we had this, there's too much, so I have to record it and then I skip through all the nonsense so I can watch the show. But when I woke up Tuesday morning and I saw all these people saying, oh, my God, Raw was so bad, Raw was so bad. I usually start watching Raw. I have a little coffee Tuesday morning, and I start the show, right? And I was just like, man, here we go. I was dreading it because of how everybody had built it up. And it did take me a couple of days to get through. I couldn't sit through the entire show. I had to watch half of it one day, and then I watched half of it the other because it was just too much. It was too much, and it was so boring that it was a chore to get through. So hopefully they know that and they do something this week to change things up. They need something, right? They need to do something this week to make it better because they know that the whole world is saying that last week the show was the worst ever. So they have to do something. You got to figure word has got back to the WWE and they're like, all right, well, let's do something this week on Raw that'll make people happy or at least get them talking about something other than how bad the show is.
Well, when things go bad, they usually go back to the past, right? You get to bring back someone from the past like Shawn Michaels or The Undertaker, someone make an appearance. Honestly, that would help the show a lot. It's not going to save the show, but at least have an appearance, something. It just adds interest.
Yeah, that's right. It's time for the game. Triple H, the cerebral assassin. I'm gonna cut a 20-minute promo and save the show. I'm gonna deliver a State of Raw address, even though I technically have nothing to do with Raw.
Honestly, it wouldn't be that bad.
It would make sense, right?
Even Stephanie at this point.
Yeah. Queendom with a king madam, Stephanie McMahon,
Her song?
Yeah. She was singing it when she came out a couple weeks ago on Raw. It was funny. She was singing the song and she came out. I was like, what are you doing?
I know
crazy Stephanie.
She on and off dances sometimes
as
well when she comes out.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Well, Shane dances. Why can't Stephanie dance?
Yeah, but Shane, it looks awesome when he dances. Actually.
Does it? Does it, though?
That
I don't know.
Jive little thing does? That's great.
Yeah. All right, we got more to get to here. Shinsuke Nakamura had a deal with Rusev. What's going on with Shinsuke and Rusev? And why wasn't Daniel Bryan on SmackDown this week? And, of course, WWE making some new stars in the women's division, and I want to get to that when we come back. It is Wrestling Uncensored right here on TSN 690.
What's going on, y'all? This is WWE superstar Kofi Kingston, and you're listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
Hey, this is Antonio Cesaro, and you're listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
Hey, this is Trish Stratus, and you're listening to Wrestling Uncensored. People are saying Stratisfaction is guaranteed.
All right, welcome back. It is Wrestling Uncensored. I'm Dave Simon. He is Johnny North. Here on TSN 690 every Saturday night, talking professional wrestling. WWE TLC going down in a couple of weeks' time. It'll be in San Jose, California, December the 16th. San Jose, California, home of Bayley. Will Bayley be on the card? Probably, right? Bayley and Sasha, they had a thing with Alexa Bliss on Raw this week, an open forum. They were asked a question by a plant in the audience, and then Alexa Bliss tried to kind of drive a wedge between Bayley and Sasha, and then for some reason, Mickie James, Dana Brooke, and Alicia Fox attacked Bayley and Sasha, and Alexa Bliss just kind of looked on happily as that happened. It didn't work out, though, for Mickie, Dana, and Alicia, as Bayley and Sasha just fought them off. Beating avoided, which doesn't happen too often. A 3-on-2 beating that doesn't go for the 3, you know? Doesn't happen where the handicap match, doesn't work out. Like Finn Balor, he got beat up by Drew and Baron. 2-on-1, couldn't handle it. Bayley and Sasha, 3-on-2. Well, that's just Dana Brooke, Alicia Fox, and Mickie James. We'll take them all out. Of course, Alexa Bliss not getting physically involved because she's still injured. She's been made the, women's general manager of Raw. Baron Corbin just asked her to take over the women's division because he's got too much on his plate. So for now, at least, Alexa Bliss is like an authority figure for the Raw women's division.
I feel they do this because I imagine they feel there'd be backlash if there's a man telling a woman what to do in their matches, so it's better.
I think they're doing this because Alexa's hurt and they want to keep her on TV.
That's also partly the reason.
Yeah.
Also, they're probably grooming Alexa to eventually be the GM, I think. It seems that's going to happen at one point in time. If not after Corbin fails at TLC, I could see it happen possibly after WrestleMania.
So is that it? Alexa's done wrestling?
Well, if she's done wrestling, make the best out of her, like Paige, right?
Yeah, I don't know if she's done wrestling. I hope she's going to come back, but I know she was dealing with some concussion issues. Who knows?
It's been quite a while.
Yeah.
So
worrisome. And now that they're shifting her into these new roles, you really start to wonder.
It's not a bad thing, is it?
Well, I don't know.
I'm not going to miss her matches.
Yeah, but it sucks that if she has to retire prematurely like that. It's not cool.
She's still making money. She's still on TV every week.
So?
Is she sad about it?
Probably. If you were told you had to stop wrestling because you were too injured to do it, how would you feel?
It would suck.
Yeah.
A lot, yeah.
Well, yeah. So what are you talking about? How about some compassion for your fellow wrestlers?
I feel some people are in it for the wrestling, like Daniel Bryan. Alexa Bliss, I don't know. I think it's just to be a star. So I think just being a talking...
That's your judgment that you're making, John. I think that's unfair.
It is.
So even you admit that your statement is unfair. You're being unfair. So why not be fair and have some compassion for Alexa Bliss and say, she has to retire prematurely? That's unfortunate. But no, you're just
we don't know that for sure. You're just...
Well, I'm saying if she would have, it would be unfortunate. But you're like, whatever. I wouldn't miss her. Who cares?
Well, I wouldn't miss her matches. I'm not going to lie to you about that.
So flippant, John. How about some compassion?
It's too bad to get hurt. It sucks. But she's still got a job. She's still on TV every week.
Yeah, for now.
I think she'll be on TV for a while.
Probably. We'll see. I don't know what's the deal with Alexa Bliss. I just hope she comes back and can wrestle. Johnny North apparently does not because he has no heart. The heartless one, Johnny North.
I think she's actually a better role now, much like Baron Corbin. They're better talkers than wrestlers.
Oh, yeah. Baron Corbin. Wait, what?
He is.
Well, that's not saying much about his wrestling ability then. He's no Dwayne Johnson.
He is not, but he's still way better than Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley on the mic combined.
Not saying much.
It's not, but these are your top heels on Raw. So, Baron Corbin, take the mic. Go with it.
Yeah. Ember Moon had a match with Alicia Fox. She beat her after an eclipse. Maybe that was a high point of Raw.
That match actually wasn't that great whatsoever. I mean, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Jinder Mahal beating No Way Jose. Yeah, that was terrible. Just a bad match overall.
Jose looks kind of fat now. I don't know what he's been doing on his off time.
Well, not wrestling. I mean, where's he been, you know? How can you expect us to care about this match when... I don't know. I thought the best part of Raw was the Singh brothers, like, when Alicia Fox came out to do her match, they were, like, dancing with Alicia, right. And Jinder was walking behind, looking, like, confused, like, why are you guys dancing? You guys are supposed to be, like, the yoga guys with me. You guys are supposed to be all zen. You're not supposed to be dancing all wild with Alicia Fox. Just Jinder's look, and the Singh brothers dancing, and Alicia there in the middle dancing with them. That was my favorite part of Raw. That was very amusing. I want to see more of that. More of that. The Singh brothers being more into the Alicia Fox gimmick than their original gimmick with Jinder Mahal, and Jinder being like kind of confused by the Singh brothers and what they're doing. I like that. That was good. Best part of Raw. Just the entrance. The entrance of Alicia Fox was the best part of Monday Night Raw.
I definitely thought the Lucha House Party match against the Revival, that was the best part of Raw. Great action.
Yeah, it was all right.
That was a very good match.
Lucha House Party wins again. Maybe they'll take the tag team titles from the Authors of Pain.
Probably not.
Authors of Pain beat Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. Now, of course, this Drake Maverick, the manager, he's doing this urine gimmick where he peed himself at the last pay-per-view because Big Show choked him. And now people are making fun of him for peeing himself. So he took Bobby Roode's robe and began to urinate on the robe on the big screen in the arena, distracting Bobby Roode during the match, leading to the loss to the Authors of Pain in the tag team title match.
Terrible.
Not good.
So, yeah, it was really bad to watch, yeah.
Yeah. Watching a man pee on a robe. That's Monday Night Raw, folks. Watching men pee on robes.
Well, it really makes you awesome.
I mean, at least we didn't see his penis. You know, I mean, I guess we got that. I mean, you didn't actually see it. Obviously, it was probably not. I wonder if he was really peeing on it. I mean, he could have been because you didn't really see. You think he had a little bottle? Like a fake thing? To make it look like pee on the robe, or do you think he really peed on the robe?
Well, it's a time thing, right? Because
why? I don't care. Let's not even discuss it. It doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter. It's stupid. It's stupid, John.
No, but you have to really think this through, actually.
Why?
Because what if he can't pee when you need him to pee?
Damn it, what's wrong with you? Pee, you little twerp. Drake Maverick. You're not a man. You have no balls. You can't even pee.
You gotta have a bottle.
I pee on command. You say pee, I pee. Where do you want me to do it? Damn it. In this company, you pee on command. I had a guy who could puke on command. What's wrong with you?
He did. It's true.
Yes, he did. So that was really bad. It's really bad. God. So Raw was just awful this week. Just awful. SmackDown, way better. I liked the opening promo for SmackDown, Paige and Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. I thought their promo was really good. Becky saying Charlotte doesn't know who she is and she's trying to be her. Charlotte saying she knows who she is and she's the only one capable of giving Ronda the beating she deserves. Becky says that Charlotte's a bootleg Becky. And then Charlotte saying that the man gimmick is ripped off from, Charlotte's dad, Ric Flair, who said to be the man, you got to beat the man. So I thought that was a really good promo, both making some solid points. Felt like there was some real heat between them. I liked it. And then Paige announcing Charlotte versus Becky at TLC. And then rightfully so, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Zelina Vega, and the Iconics show up. And Mandy Rose is the only one on the microphone. Okay, which shows you they're trying to make Mandy Rose into a big star. The group of heels comes out, and Mandy Rose is the only one that talks. And she's good. She can talk.
Out of all the heels, yeah, of course.
She's not a great wrestler, but she's got a hell of a look, and she can talk. That can go a long way.
Of course.
So they're mad that they don't get any opportunities. And then Naomi, Asuka, Carmella, and Lana show up, and Naomi says a couple of things, and she says that they want a shot too, which makes a lot of sense. Like, it is very much Becky and Charlotte every single time. The rest of the women are having matches. They are doing things. They deserve to be involved in the main event. So then Paige says, yep, you guys have a match. It's the Battle Royal. So Asuka beats Mandy, Sonya, Carmella, Naomi, Lana, and the Iconics to qualify for the triple threat. And that was the main event of SmackDown. So, nice way to set it up at the top of the show, finishing it off at the end. It made sense. Everybody had their points across. The promo was solid from everybody involved. Just an overall good wrestling segment.
Yeah, it was a good way to set up your main event. It should be your main event for TLC. And I'm really looking forward to it. I was kind of worried at first. Charlotte versus Becky again, even at TLC. I'm like, ugh, we've seen this match already too much. Thankfully, they've changed. Just with Asuka, it changes up the dynamic so much.
Changes everything. And Asuka is super over, and it shows you no matter what the WWE can do to a character, have them lose and kind of not featured as much as they were. When the baby faces came out there, Naomi, Asuka, Carmella, and Lana, the crowd was chanting for Asuka.
Yep. Well, they know.
They know. We know, right?
But that means she's not going to win, I think.
Probably not. A bizarre moment on SmackDown was the bar backstage with Big Show. Cesaro blaming him for their loss to the New Day the previous week in the Thanksgiving match. Big Show then punched Cesaro, and Sheamus is like, oh, we're better off without you, fella. So the short-lived union between Big Show and the bar that, we were just saying, why are they together? It doesn't make sense. They've never given them promo time. What is happening? Explain this. As soon as we start saying, hey, why don't you explain the union between these guys? They just break them up anyways. Also, Big Show seems to have shaved his beard. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know.
What, he's going to do a movie or something?
I don't know. Maybe, but I guess Big Show's gone now because he just did a little backstage on SmackDown, and that was it.
Well, Big Show looked like he was getting up very slowly during his match.
Yeah.
You mentioned, I think, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So maybe there's an injury that's been nagging, and they decided, well, let's take care of this now.
Also, he's kind of older. He's been wrestling since the 90s. I don't know if he wants to wrestle or be on the road on a full-time basis like he used to. I think Big Show's going to show up every now and then, and that'll be it. Kind of like Mark Henry for a time. I think Mark Henry's fully retired now, but for a while there, he'd show up, he'd be there for a few weeks, then he'd disappear, and then he'd show up, be there for a few weeks, and disappear.
Well, there's very few people that still wrestle in WCW. Big Show did. So, yeah, it's about time. He kind of stops wrestling.
You know who else wrestled in WCW?
AJ Styles?
AJ Styles, a phenomenal one. He's still going, brother, and he's at the top of his game. Talked about losing the WWE title to Daniel Bryan and talking about that Daniel Bryan's not there and he's not on any of the live events and he's going to get his revenge on Daniel Bryan at TLC. And he shows up and he's a fighting champion, not like Daniel Bryan. This new Daniel Bryan I like. He's not on SmackDown. And I think it's part of the gimmick. This new Daniel Bryan is smarter, and he's taking care of his body. I saw him do a promo where he was talking about how, the old Daniel Bryan sacrificed his body for the fans, and the new Daniel Bryan doesn't do that. He only shows up when he needs to, and he's a different character, which I like, not only because it works as a character and it's going to get him heat. Nothing gets heat these days in the WWE like not showing up when you're a champion, right? Just ask Brock Lesnar. But also, for Daniel Bryan's own health and safety. I don't want him triple booked on shows like he used to be, Wrestling so many matches, all the wear and tear on your body. I want to see Daniel Bryan for as long as we can in big matches. I don't need to see him wrestle every week on SmackDown as long as I can see him wrestle big matches on every pay-per-view. If we have to sacrifice seeing Daniel Bryan on TV and we only see him on pay-per-view, I'm good with that if it means that Daniel Bryan's career goes for the next 10 years rather than the next 5. If we can extend the career by having him work less, then let's do that because Daniel Bryan doesn't need to wrestle all the time because in the big matches, he delivers, and that's all you really want. I just want as much Daniel Bryan for as long as possible.
Well, I like to see AJ Styles wrestle as much as possible as well. And the fact that
He's
AJ
40 years old. You got to give him a break, man.
But he shows up. He said it himself. Like
He didn't wrestle.
He didn't wrestle. He did a promo, and that's it. Sometimes you don't have to wrestle, but he's at least there all the time. He's doing the house shows every week. Unlike Daniel Bryan, he should be the WWE champion again.
Listen, when AJ Styles is the star of 2 reality shows, he can take time off like Daniel Bryan, okay? Daniel Bryan is a superstar. You think Miz is a big star because he has 1 reality show? Daniel Bryan's on 2. Total Bellas, Total Divas, all revolve around Daniel Bryan. Well, mostly his wife and his wife's sister, but also around Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, I remember watching Total Bellas, and you barely see Daniel Bryan.
You see a lot of his daughter, though.
Yeah.
And his wife.
A lot of Birdie Joe, yeah.
There you go. So, listen. Daniel Bryan can do no wrong. He'll show up when he wants to. And that's a good gimmick. I like that.
Well, it's nothing new. Brock Lesnar already does it better.
Yeah, well, Brock's, doing it as a shoot.
It's a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Daniel Bryan actually shows up and cuts promos on his own, and his matches are incredible. His match with Brock was amazing.
Well, if he's just going to be a watered-down Brock Lesnar, I'm not really feeling this. I think they should just give the title back to AJ.
No. What are you talking about? Daniel Bryan should be champion for the next 5 years, is what I said last week, and I'm sticking to it. He's the best. Shane McMahon isn't best in the world. It's Daniel Bryan. Shane McMahon and The Miz had an interesting interaction this week. I'm kind of liking this weird Miz thing. Miz lost to Kofi Kingston. New Day was in Kofi's corner. Miz had nobody in his corner. The Miz then asked Shane McMahon why he wasn't there to back him up. And Shane McMahon's like, what the hell are you talking about? We're not a tag team.
And then he threatened him, didn't he?
Miz threatened Shane?
Yeah, he said, you better get your act together or something.
So what? Are we building towards Miz versus Shane at the Rumble or something?
Some sort of match is going to happen, it feels like.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're actually going to be a tag team.
Is this working for Miz? Like, is this turning him babyface? Is that what they're trying to do, even? Because working against New Day, wrestling Kofi Kingston is not a way to be a babyface. He's a heel in that match.
Well, it seems like they're letting Daniel Bryan build on his own as a heel, and they're trying to get Miz off on whatever the heck he's doing. They're keeping them separate, so then eventually when they collide, it's going to be a big deal. I don't know if that's WrestleMania, but maybe at the Rumble I could see that.
Miz Bryan at the Rumble? Well, I mean, come on. What about Shane and Miz, though?
We'll do it at TLC.
I think it's too soon to build for TLC. I don't think you do Shane Miz at TLC.
It's taking up a lot of TV time just to let it continue.
Well, that show's already pretty booked up.
You have, 6 matches, 7 matches? They can put on another 3, 4. Come on.
I don't know. I don't know about Miz and Shane at TLC. It's an odd thing that's going on. I guess Rey Mysterio and Randy Orton will probably wrestle at TLC, but I could see them pushing that. Randy had the whole attack on Rey last week, took his mask. Randy cut a promo about it this week, saying, I don't know, I never really cared about the mask. Doesn't mean anything to me. It's just a piece of trash. I never learned the history. I never cared to. And it's like, all right, you don't like lucha wrestling. We get it, Randy. You don't watch CMLL, What was that promo? And then Rey Mysterio shows up, and he tries to attack Randy, but he was wearing a neck brace because he got beat up last week. And Randy beats up Rey pretty good. Some refs and agents show up to separate them. Randy and Rey. This is what Randy does. He wrestles guys he wants to wrestle, I think. I really feel like he's calling his own shots. He had a feud with Jeff Hardy. He wanted to wrestle Jeff because he knows Jeff. He wrestled him before. Now he wants to wrestle Rey because he knows Rey and he's wrestled him before.
Yeah, it's fun wrestling little guys. Just throw them around. It's easier.
I think Randy likes that.
Yeah, it's easy time. Of course.
And he gets to win in the end, too.
Well, I feel they are going to wrestle at TLC.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of building this all around that he attacks him with a chair all the time. So this is your chair match right here. Randy Orton versus Rey Mysterio.
I'm down with that. I'm fine with that. I'm pretty much good with anything Rey Mysterio does at this point, though. The guy's a living legend. He can do no wrong. He's Rey Mysterio, damn it. I would kind of like to see him beat Randy and enter into a little bit of a program with Daniel Bryan. Like, he's such a good babyface, and he doesn't need to beat Daniel Bryan. Like, he's a really good guy to get Daniel Bryan over as a heel further and continue to win and hold on to the WWE title. I'd like AJ to lose the rematch here at TLC and then maybe Bryan Mysterio at the Rumble.
Yeah, that could easily happen. Sure.
That would be sick. I'd love to see that match. I'd love to see a little feud between those two. And I just think Rey is such a good babyface that people would cheer for him over Daniel Bryan. It would help Daniel Bryan turn heel. However, now that I think about it, do you remember the Rumble?
Yes.
When Rey showed up and everybody thought it was going to be Daniel Bryan and everybody booed Rey? Remember that?
It's different Daniel Bryan now, right?
But at that point, they were booing the WWE for not giving them Daniel Bryan. It wasn't really about Rey. But they could even bring that up in some way into their feud, you know? Rey like, oh, Daniel Bryan. They booed me because of you. I hate you, Daniel Bryan.
Well, I don't know if they
more of a heel thing that they would do. But still, I'd like to see Rey and Bryan. And I think, it would make sense if Bryan beats AJ and Rey beats Randy. Rey could make a claim that he's the number one contender, and there we go. Rey versus Bryan at the Rumble. I doubt they go there.
No, I wouldn't be surprised. It makes a lot of sense. They should do it, actually.
It'll be fun.
Thing is, like, what do you do with Randy afterwards? Because Randy also...
Who cares? Randy can be in the Royal Rumble.
Well, he's got to win, then.
No. Although maybe. Maybe.
It should happen, but
it might. It might. It very well might.
I don't know if it would, but he'd definitely be in like the final 4 or 5 or something.
Whenever Randy's in one of those matches to be in a main event, there's always a chance that he wins because the WWE likes putting Randy in main events, so you never know, right?
Yeah, it's just because he's won 2 Rumbles already. To give him a third one, like...
It'd be a bit much.
It's just the timing has to be really good for that to happen. I just feel the timing right now. It's just you do it for the sake of doing it. It just wouldn't work. I think. I mean, give him a great spot, make him in the finals, but that's about it.
I don't think he's going to win another Rumble this year. Who does win the Rumble?
Seth Rollins
to face Brock.
Yeah.
So he drops the IC title to Dean here at TLC.
Well, he doesn't have to drop it. He can keep it for a little bit. Then drop it in the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, I guess.
Because Brock's not defending inside the Elimination Chamber, so you need some champion to defend inside the Elimination Chamber.
Solid point. There's no way Brock defends, you think, at Elimination Chamber? Why not?
Brock's not going to wrestle. Come, the fact that we're getting Brock at the Rumble, that's all you're getting in WrestleMania. You know how it works. We've seen how this works before.
So Brock beats Braun at the Rumble and then loses to Seth at Mania.
Sounds about right.
It does. Doesn't sound great, though, does it?
Can you think of something better for Raw? What's better? What's the best match you could put for Raw right now?
Kevin Owens comes back, and he wins the Rumble, and then he takes on Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Big babyface run for Kevin Owens. Make him the top babyface on Raw.
Well, Kevin won't be back for WrestleMania, so...
That sucks.
Live with that.
Well, I'm just saying. It would be much better, wouldn't it?
Well, we don't got that, so this is what you get.
Thanks, John.
Deal with it.
Shinsuke Nakamura attacked Rusev before their match could even happen on SmackDown this week. Does Rusev get a U.S. title match maybe at TLC, maybe the pre-show?
I feel like we've been down this road already before.
Yeah, right? Haven't we?
I think it was at Crown Jewel, if not mistaken.
Yeah.
Just a random match for the U.S. title, and Nakamura won. And I feel like we're just doing a rewind. All right, sure, fine. Rusev's not going to win. Okay.
The Bar, they have lost Big Show.
Mm-hmm.
They then lose to the Usos in a non-title match.
All right.
Is the Bar going to lose the tag titles at TLC to the Usos?
Is that the match, or is it going to be a
Well,
three-way with New Day?
Why would New Day be involved in that? New Day is, I don't know, beating up... Who'd they beat? Kofi beat The Miz, right?
Right. But they also beat The Bar the week prior. So.
Oh, I see. That's a big match. Well, we could do a gimmick match, too. That'd be fun.
Tables is fun. Do tables.
Tables would be fun. The Bar, the New Day, the Usos, triple threat tables match. Man, SmackDown killing it with the matches at TLC. You know, if they put that together, what can Raw counter with? The Authors of Pain against Gable and Rude, you know?
Yeah, they can't.
They can't. Raw gives you Baron Corbin and Braun Strowman. SmackDown counters with AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan. Raw gives you Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax, which is pretty good. SmackDown counters with Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Asuka in a TLC triple threat. Like every time Raw throws something out, SmackDown counters with something 10 times better.
We're not going to argue this. Obviously, SmackDown's the better show. And
they're showing it on their pay-per-view.
They need to carry the pay-per-view for it to be good. Because if they don't,
yeah,
man, people are going to stop watching pay-per-views.
But of course, Raw won every match at Survivor Series, so Raw is the A brand.
Well, because it's so bad, they need to win everything, right?
That's right. They have to win. They have to win. How about Jeff Hardy celebration? I thought that was cool. Like, at first, I didn't know where they were going with it, and I was like, oh, they're just kind of celebrating that Jeff Hardy's been on SmackDown for 20 years. Was it SmackDown or WWE?
I think WWE.
Still, I thought it was cool that they had that, and even though it led to an attack from Samoa Joe, and, well, it wasn't really an attack, it was just like a promo that was kind of mean to Jeff Hardy.
Attack on his character.
Yeah. Even though it kind of ended with that, it was kind of a cool moment to begin with, having all the babyface superstars on the stage and Michael Cole in the ring to interview Hardy, and then a nice video package highlighting Hardy's career. Like, that was all good stuff. That was all good and nice to see them honoring a guy like Jeff Hardy who deserves the respect and the admiration. The guy's a living legend. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's one of the best to ever do it. 20 years in the WWE is an unbelievable accomplishment. To be at that level, to be a great wrestler, and to do the things he's done, Jeff Hardy's, you know, can't say good enough things, enough good things about this guy. He is one of the greatest ever. Gotta love Jeff Hardy. And it was cool that they celebrated him. And then, of course, they have to attack his character a little bit. Samoa Joe comes out, and he's like, hey, I was popping champagne backstage, but I didn't bring any for Jeff because it wouldn't be a good idea, Jeff. You know, got to keep you sober. Joe says Jeff was probably not even coherent during the past 20 years. So, you know, Joe taking a lot of jabs at Jeff Hardy and his past substance abuse issues, which are well documented. He showed up all messed up for a match in TNA with Sting. That was a huge embarrassment to him, and it was just bad. It was just a sad moment, you know, and he was arrested with a lot of drugs, and CM Punk cut a terrible promo on Jeff Hardy when Jeff left the WWE, which still I think is the worst thing anybody's ever done, you know, promo-wise to Jeff Hardy, because Jeff wasn't even in the company anymore to defend himself. When Jeff left, I don't know if you remember this, but Punk cut this scathing promo on Jeff Hardy and his drug use, and he had beaten Jeff Hardy, and he was like, I'm proving that I'm better than Jeff, and Jeff's a loser, and all this, and it was very rough. And then a couple days later, Jeff got arrested with all these drugs. It was a bad time for Jeff Hardy. And, you know, they celebrate his great career, and Samoa Joe brings it all back up, which, you know, the WWE does a real nice thing for Jeff, and then they talk about real-life struggles that he's gone through with substance abuse. The demons.
Well, that's how they can make money. They make money off your struggles.
Yeah, well, it was good on that Hardy Boys documentary, right? Didn't they do one of the? It was on the network, I think. It was a network special on the Hardys where it was very well documented, all the struggles that Jeff and Matt both went through dealing with their demons. We call them the demons in pro wrestling.
I think his recent car crash, too, if I'm not mistaken, Jeff was in.
Yeah,
while in WWE.
Yeah, it was a DUI, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. So the demons live on. The fire still remains.
He's had struggles with addiction.
Addiction. And not just the spot monkey addiction. Right? Brother Nero.
Thing is, they make it seem real, right? By bringing it up, so you get more interested in the feud. It creates...
Samoa Joe going personal lately, right? AJ Styles' family, and now Jeff Hardy and the Demons.
They make it entertaining television at Jeff's expense, unfortunately.
Jeff and Joe is a hell of a match, though. Although I feel like I've seen it before somewhere else.
Well, you've seen it recently on SmackDown like 2 or 3 times already.
Have we?
It happened, I think, leading up to Crown Jewel. Jeff beat Joe, and then Joe, I think, beat Jeff afterwards.
And I'm sure they wrestled in TNA too, right?
More than likely.
So here we go. It's going to happen again, Jeff and Joe. I'm not mad at it, though. I like it. They started that feud this week, and yeah, sure. Jeff Hardy, Samoa Joe, 2 good wrestlers. Not really doing much right now, so why not put them together for a little bit? They'll probably wrestle at TLC.
Well, I guess you could make that a tables match as well, perhaps.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of gimmick matches you're throwing out there.
Jeff Hardy, he's got to be in something.
You would think it'd be in a TLC. He's one of the originals. He was in the first ever TLC.
Yeah,
He's a TLC OG.
You got too many TLC matches already, though.
Yeah, but this is Jeff. This is his pay-per-view. This is his match. I mean, of the TLC originals, only Jeff is still in the WWE. Only Jeff is still wrestling. Bubba's still wrestling, though, right? Bubba Dudley is still in Ring of Honor. He's still wrestling. But Devon's retired. Edge and Christian, of course, retired. I think Matt is pretty much retired. Matt Hardy. So Jeff is like the only guy still standing in the WWE.
Well, I'm not in favor of putting everybody in these hardcore matches right away. Like, I question them putting Becky in like a TLC right when she gets cleared to wrestle. Let's throw her right into a TLC match.
You're cleared to wrestle, you're cleared to wrestle.
The thing is with Jeff, this is what he lives for, is these kind of matches. And I guess if you can't make a TLC, just make it no DQ.
Jeff does not live for these kinds of matches, John.
Yeah, he
we
does.
all know what Jeff lives for, and he said it on SmackDown this week. Jeff Hardy lives for the moment.
And those matches help create those moments.
He said it. That's one of his catchphrases.
I know.
Live for the moment.
That's a T-shirt.
It's just whenever he says it, it's just so funny. I don't know why. I love it every time.
You love the accent.
It's just the way he says it. You know, it's just like, you live for the moment. What does that mean? I live for the moment, man. Well, what moment? This moment right here. I live for this. Okay. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Live for the moment. Live for the moment. It's just his delivery of it, too.
Right.
It's strange. But, yeah, that's part of what makes Jeff Hardy the charismatic enigma that we all love.
And
Also one of his nicknames. Charismatic enigma. Jeffrey Nero Hardy, the charismatic enigma, delivering the whisper in the wind. Swanton bomb!
I just wish we could see more of Brother Nero. We haven't really seen that too much in WWE yet. I'd like to see that some more.
Probably won't happen.
Why not?
Matt Hardy had that gimmick. They just want original Jeff. They want the charismatic enigma. That's all WWE wants to do. Keep it simple.
No, Brother Nero, like, that's where it's at.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you, but that's not how WWE works, and we both know it. Johnny North, we're way over time here. When can people see you in the ring?
It's going to be December 16th, 2 p.m., wrestling for the NWA British Commonwealth Championship against Don Belanger.
Yes. This is the title match that we've been talking about, finally happening.
Yep, big match, finally happening. Going to win the championship. Finally take it away from that bald piece of garbage.
Wow. December 6th.
December 16th.
16th, okay.
Sunday.
The title's coming home. And then we'll celebrate on Dave and Johnny Live with the belt, right?
That's a plan.
Yeah, brother. Johnny North going to take home the title. Follow him on Twitter at North Genesis. Follow him on Instagram at Genesis Johnny North. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Same handle at Dave Simon MMA. WrestlingUncensored.net is our website. All the podcasts are there. You can subscribe on iTunes. That way it gets downloaded right to your device. We got Wrestling Uncensored, Ringside Report Radio, What's Phantom in Japan, Dave and Johnny Live. Check out our YouTube channel to see everything that we do. All the shows available on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ringsidereport.net, youtube.com/ringsidereport, DOTNET. Check it out right now. Big thanks to Jimmy and Marco for helping us out back at TSN 690, and a thanks to you for listening. For Johnny North, I am Dave Simon, and this has been Wrestling Uncensored. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.